Easy Odds Premier League video cast. Now, we found 3 winners last week. We're not going to mention that it was out of 10.
Well, except we just did.
We'll just say that it was 3 winners and move on.
Well, we did find Hull at a big price up against Liverpool, so I was happy with that.
Yeah, and how they're playing in the first game
Absolutely.
this weekend.
What a time.
Away at Arsenal. How's it going to go? Who are the favourites? I wonder who the favourites are.
What do you reckon?
I think Hull must be like 1 to 10, 1 to 15.
1 to 10, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're on form, they should be. So this is an interesting market, of course, because Arsenal are, of course, short price favourites to win here, despite the fact that they've just lost to Watford and then also followed that up with an embarrassing loss to Chelsea, where they were absolutely shown up as men versus boys, and they were the boys in that situation. You can bag yourself a best price of 1 to 3 with the odds comparison service if you do fancy an Arsenal win here. The Arsenal do have a great, excellent record up against Hull. The Tigers are winless in 13 matches against Arsenal in all competitions. The Humberside team have also scored just 2 goals in the last 10 away games in all competitions. So the odds are probably about right here, Jake. However, Hull are in a decent run of form. They've won 4 of the last 8, including impressive victories over Man United and Liverpool. New manager Marcus Silva has done a fantastic job of bringing a team spirit back to the Tigers. Seemingly sold all their best players and brought in players that he knows, and they're doing very well for him. He, of course, masterminded a surprise 3-2 win for Olympiacos at this very stadium last season in the Champions League, in a 3-2 win. So if you fancy another surprise on Saturday, 11 to 1, a big price there for a whole team that are showing decent form overall, but do struggle away from home.
That is massive.
You can see why they are 11 to 1. I guess.
That is a massive price, 11 to 1.
Yeah.
Who are going to win this? What's your recommended bet?
I can see plenty of people laying Arsenal here just because of the kind of toxic atmosphere around the Emirates at the moment. There's plenty of Wenger out signs where Gary Neville claimed that man was an idiot, which is pretty funny.
Gary Neville on Arsenal Fan TV.
It's happening.
It's got to happen.
It's happening.
It's got to happen now.
But I do think that Arsenal will bounce back here. I think Arsenal to win to nil at 6 to 5 is a decent price. He's been making some strange choices in his starting lineups. Wenger dropping Welbeck and Walcott after their excellent display against Southampton in the FA Cup. Then, of course, he did, and then he followed that up by then bringing Walcott back, even though he missed the previous game, and then Walcott looked pretty poor in that game. So then Welbeck was left on the bench, and yeah, it's all been a bit higgledy-piggledy Arsenal at the moment. But El Nenny's back from the African Nations, where he performed very well. He got all the way to the final with Morocco. He'll add a bit of stability to that midfield. There's an interesting stat that when Coquelin doesn't start, Arsenal have won 100% of the matches, and when Coquelin does start, they've only won 41%. So
that is crazy.
Bringing back
100%.
So bringing back El Neni might be a key to this. And I think that Welbeck will start here, and Welbeck looked excellent when he came off the bench against Chelsea as well. He was a small bright spark for Arsenal. And the fact that Hull have scored just twice on the road in 10 games shows that there's a real lack of goal threat away from home from this whole side. Arsenal were hardly impressive defensively in the past 2 matches. They let in 5 goals, as I said, but in the last 2 games. But they have got more balance here with El Neni back in the team. So I fancy a clean sheet for Arsenal here, and to win the game overall at 6 to 5.
Nice, 6 to 5 odds against. Thank you very much. Are there any time goal scorers?
Yeah, as I said, I really like the look of Welbeck at the moment. I think he's looking back to his best. He scored twice against Southampton on his return, and he's up against a whole team here that concede away from goal, concede plenty of goals away from home. So I do think that he's a good very bet. 11 to 10 when you consider that he's as short as 7 to 10 elsewhere.
Him and Andy Carroll leading the line for England.
That'll be good.
That's 60 goals a season partnership to me. Next up is Liverpool versus Tottenham. Enormous game for Champions League. Got to be Liverpool's biggest game of the season so far, probably. Both teams need to win. Both haven't been performing at all recently. Obviously, Liverpool much worse situation than Tottenham at the moment, considering it's been losing it to absolutely everyone.
Yeah.
But what's happening?
Yeah, so Liverpool's season has fallen off the edge of a cliff. They've won just once in their last 10 games. That's incredible, isn't it? And that 1-0 victory was against Plymouth. So well done to Liverpool for that one. They've signed no one in the January transfer window, which was a bit of a surprise. There's lots of fans that are blaming the owners for that rather than Klopp, but then there's also some people phoning into 5 Live saying that Klopp should be sacked.
Madness.
But that's football for you. But can Tottenham take advantage at Anfield on Saturday? The bookies don't think so, however. Somehow, even with the current form of these two teams, Liverpool are still favourites with the bookies. That even though they haven't won at Anfield in their last 5 attempts, Klopp's side are expected to win here. Best odds of 14 to 11, Jake. Perhaps they are taking into account the home side's form historically against Tottenham, because Spurs have lost 15 of the last 24 matches at Anfield in the Premier League and are currently on an 8-match winless run against the Reds in all fixtures. So it's rare that Tottenham do get a result in this fixture. But Tottenham are second in the table and they have the second best away defence in the Premier League. They've let in just 11 goals in 12 games on the road, and it will be a tough ask for Liverpool to win here. So despite Liverpool's poor form, the odds of 51 to 20 are surprisingly big, I would suggest.
Yeah, that's a massive price. It's just crazy how things change so quickly. I mean, I remember Chelsea... No, but at the beginning, Man City, there's no chance they can't not win the league. They're going to absolutely demolish anyone, steamroll the whole season. Then Chelsea got good. Then Chelsea were rubbish, and Arsenal were good when Arsenal beat them 3-0. And then Spurs looked unbeatable when they were just passing it around everyone. Dele Alli was scoring every game. And then Liverpool before Spurs, and now and now it's just Chelsea again. By themselves. But to be fair, apparently they can win the league in the next 6 games if results go their way.
That's a fantastic start.
Don't know.
Best of luck to you, Chelsea fans. So my bet here, Jake, is to back Tottenham draw no bet. Liverpool just not in the sort of form where you can trust them, and to back them at any point at the moment, it's a bit of a brave call. So I would suggest backing Tottenham here, but in the draw no bet market. Tottenham have got the second best away defence in the whole league. They've kept 5 clean sheets in the last 7 games. Whilst the goals have dried up for Liverpool, they've netted just 8 goals in the last 10 games, have Liverpool. Whilst we all know that the front 4 of Coutinho, Mane, Lallana and Firmino are more than capable of causing havoc, as they did at the start of the season, they are struggling to make chances count of late. So up against the Spurs side, who are on an 11-match unbeaten run, you've got a fancy Tottenham draw no bet here at best price of 6 to 4.
Nice. Draw no bet as well. Very nice. Very, very nice. Have you got any time
I do,
picks?
And it's my man James Milner.
Milner, boring at James Milner.
He takes penalties, and he's already scored 6 penalties this season. When he takes them, he scores them, basically. And he's a best price 4 to 1 here, so we're basically backing a penalty, basically. But he's best price 4 to 1 here, and he's a worst price of 100 to 30. So if you are going to back him, make sure that you use the easy odds service.
What are the odds of a penalty being given?
I don't know, but I imagine it'll be around 3 to 1, maybe 3 to 1, 4 to 1.
Next up is Burnley versus Chelsea. We just talked about them. Just the fact they've been fantastic, haven't they, recently? Burnley at home, though, they're unbeatable at home.
That's so good.
They don't let in goals either.
So good at home. So interesting one here. Of course, Chelsea just look to be strolling to the Premier League title. But up next, of course, is Turf Moor, and Sean Dyche's Burnley side have an absolutely fantastic home record. But in the betting, Chelsea are favourites here. Best price 9 to 10. If you fancy Chelsea, they're 9 points clear at the top of the Premier League table. It's hardly surprising that Antonio Conte's side are favourites here, because they basically are better than everyone else in the Premier League. And you have to take into consideration that they've never lost a Premier League game at Turf Moor either. But Burnley have been brilliant at home. They've won 9 of the last 10 at Turf Moor in all competitions. They've been undervalued here at a best price of 17 to 2. Absolutely massive.
9 to 10. I mean, people are going to want to take that. They'll be like, "That's."
I actually think that's a typo. I think it's 9 to 20.
Oh.
It's 9 to 20. It is 9 to 20.
Shut up.
9 to 20. Apologies.
Okay, 9 to 20, not 9 to 10.
I'll change that on the side.
Okay.
So my recommended
9
bet
to 20, not so good.
not so good.
Yeah.
My recommended bet here is actually going to be a brave one. I'm backing Burnley to beat Chelsea.
Yes, here we go. This is what we
17
love.
to 2. Absolutely massive price. Burnley have won 9 of the last 10 at home in all competitions. They've not conceded in any of their last 4 games at home. Burnley play a very impressive game at Turf Moor where they pin teams in and make life uncomfortable for you with their big diagonal balls to the likes of Vokes and Barnes, and then they've got Andre Gray that can get in behind with his pace as well. And when you consider they took Arsenal and Liverpool, Arsenal and Man City to tough games this season. Arsenal won last minute. Man City only won 2-1. Liverpool lost here 2-0. I think 17 to 2 is a big price to ignore here. Yes, Chelsea are the best team in the Premier League. Yes, they've never lost to Burnley in the Premier League, but they failed to win 4 of their 12 matches away from home this season, so they're not invincible. And in my opinion, Burnley could bring a massive surprise. Jeff Hendrick's suspension is a big blow, as you know, as a Derby fan.
Great player.
Good player. And they will be dependent on the gloves of Tom Heaton, who's been absolutely brilliant in goal this season for Burnley. So he'll be peppered, I'm sure, left, right and centre. But if he has a decent game, not like he had at Old Trafford, where he managed to keep a clean sheet, they've got every chance of causing a big upset here. And I think 17 to 2 is just too good a price to ignore for a home side as good as Burnley.
That is a big old price. That's got to be one of the biggest tips we've ever done in the full-time result market. Any time scorers in the
Yeah, well, a price of 17 to 2, any Burnley player here is a big price in this market. And Ashley Barnes, who scored the penalty up against Watford last weekend, where they actually did really well. I tipped them to win last weekend, and to only lose 2-1 in a match where you had a red card after 6 minutes, when you haven't won a Premier League match away from home all season, shows the kind of spirit that this Burnley team has. And I really do fancy them to get something out of this game. So 17 to 2 is a decent price, and Ashley Barnes 5 to 1. A striker to be 5 to 1 to score at home is too big to ignore.
Especially when they're going to win anyway. 17 to 2. What's your idea of the bottom 3 at the moment of this sort of
At the moment, I believe.
Hull?
I think Hull will go down.
Yeah.
I think Palace will go down.
Mm-hmm.
And I've said it on Twitter, and I got shouted at for it.
Yeah.
And I kind of tipped it at 21 to 1.
Oh, you did, yeah.
Bournemouth, I think, are in trouble.
They are in trouble. They haven't got any. Where are the goals coming from?
Where are the goals coming from?
They're not coming from anywhere. The final game is Swansea versus Leicester. That's their 2 relegation kind of fighting out at the moment. Swansea look much better under the great Paul Clement that Derby just ruthlessly sacked for no reason. But
he didn't play the Derby way.
And Leicester, talking about Derby, 2
of course, yes,
sorts to do with Derby. Bloody beat us, didn't they?
But not in 90 minutes.
Not in 90 minutes, and we were the better team in the second half, and we had our second team out.
Absolutely.
I wanted us to win though, so I could say to loads of my friends who support championship teams, when was the last time your B team beat Premier League champions?
That would be a great
When
start.
was the last time your B team beat Premier League champions? All you Villa fans, all you bloody Bolton fans, all you, I don't know, Blackburn fans, any team.
I'd have to say the joke that making 8 changes ahead of your match up against Bristol City shows real fear ahead of our match on the weekend.
Oh, Derby Bristol City at the weekend. That's the big game.
That's the big game.
That's the big game. Coming in off of a win.
We're in better form than you are.
You are much better form. We're going to lose.
Right. Anyway, back to Swansea Leicester. It's obviously a massive relegation battle at the Liberty this Sunday. I'm going to be watching on the telly. I'm going to be pretty excited for this game more than any other game because I love a scrap. So thanks to Swansea's impressive turnaround under Paul Clement, where they've beaten Liverpool and Southampton and took Man City to the wire at the Etihad, they're actually favourites to win here, best price of 6 to 4 using our odds comparison service. However, Leicester, as Jake alluded to, they have won in midweek and look impressive, and they looked impressive once they had a 3 up top of Gray, Slimani and Mahrez on the pitch. They haven't scored a Premier League goal in 2017 though, which is poor going, I would suggest. So it's hardly surprising that they are a big price here of 11 to 5 in the full-time result market. But I'm going to be staying away from the full-time result market because it's up in the air, this one, I think, and I'm going to be backing both teams to score. Leicester looked much more like their old selves in midweek. No team has ever gone 6 games without scoring a goal in the Premier League. No team ever.
Really?
Ever.
That is madness.
So, Leicester won't do that. Leicester will score a goal here. I fancy them to finally break their 2017 duck. Swansea have conceded 54 Premier League goals this season, the joint most they have ever done in a Premier League season. So it's only February, and they're already at this optimum amount that they've ever conceded in the Premier League. That's how bad their defence has been this season, and they haven't kept a clean sheet in any of the last 10 matches. So with an improving Leicester front line, I do think that Leicester will score a goal here. However, they are beginning to, Swansea are beginning to show a real attacking threat. They've scored 6 goals in the last 3 games, in hard games as well, Liverpool and Man City included in that.
Yeah.
So I do think both teams to score is a decent bet here, despite the odd fact that both teams haven't scored in each of the last 4 times that these teams have met at the Liberty Stadium. But I think that run will end on Sunday, and both teams will score. Best price 4 to 5.
Quite mental, isn't it, that Jamie Vardy broke the record for most goals scored in a row, and now Leicester are just about to break the record for least goals scored in consecutive games. I think Swansea will win that. I think they're going to win. I think 6 to 4 is quite a good price as well.
It's not a bad price. Not a bad price at all.
Are there any timers in this?
Absolutely, yeah. The man who lit up that game in midweek was Damari Gray, signed from
He was good.
Birmingham last season, of course. And he's a best price here of 5 to 1, which I think is a nice price. He's worst price 3 to 1, so that shows the difference using the Easy Odds comparison service. So if you do fancy a Damari Gray goal, make sure you use Easy Odds.
Okay. Okie dokie.
Those are 4 selections there, Jake.
Okie dokie.
Should
We
we
got
go through
Biggie in. We got Biggie in there.
Should we go through them?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Arsenal to win to 0, 6 to 5. Tottenham draw no bet, 6 to 4.
Ooh.
Burnley to win, 17 to 2.
Oh.
And then let's end on a shorty. Yes, in both teams to score between Swansea and Leicester, 4 to 5.
Very good. And that's that. You'll be rich if you put that in a fourfold.
Absolutely.
Especially with the 70 to 2 in there.
Come on, the Clarets.
Anyway, that's that. Thank you for subscribing. Or if you haven't subscribe already. Thank you for watching even. Remember to like the video.
Comment on the video.
Comment what you think of the thought. If you think Burnley are going to beat Chelsea,
Which everyone does, right?
Are you
Everyone
completely
does, right?
insane? Comment that if you want. We've got a really decent offer for Cheltenham if anyone of you like horse racing from BetonBrazil, where you can get Altior at 33 to 1, which is basically a penalty kick now that Min is out. If you don't know anything about horse racing, you won't know what I just said. But you know, it's still a really good offer. So remember to do that. But yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.